Right, guys. Sorry about the setup. I've just watched a video after the Makerfield election and by Paul Thorpe, right? And I had to say a few things because this man either doesn't understand or he's part of the problem on purpose. The crap that he's moaning on about and the reasons he's giving are just insane. So I've got a video on my TV in front of me because I don't know how to do it on my phone at the same time as record because I don't know what I'm doing because this isn't me. But I had to say something because this man is genuinely part of the problem and he's getting on my tits. So this is going to be a bit of a rant, a bit of a rave. I'll probably meander all over the place, but just bear with me, please.
Reaction to Makerfield waking up this morning to hear the news that Andy Burnham has literally romped home to victory at Makerfield whilst gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
It wasn't really overly surprising.
We knew that was going to happen. Labour man wins Labour area. Okay.
Was it? We have to hope that somehow there's still a positive twist in this tale on a day when, once again, the left have pulled a rabbit out of the hat and taught us all some very valuable lessons that we do very well to learn.
Do we think that one of those lessons could possibly be that instead of using your platform, Paul Thorpe, to push for reform, more of the same, more of the uni party, more of the centre left, whatever you want to call it, do you think that doing that is a positive, do you? Or do you think a positive would perhaps be using your massive platform? Why it's massive, I don't know, because it's crap, and you say nothing other than, we've got to unite the right, we've got to have a whip round for Tommy Robinson so he can line his pockets in London twice a year or whatever it is. Is that what you think's helping? Or do you think that we should actually start pushing for what we actually want?
Today is not a day for any I told you so's. Today is a day for taking our lesson, for learning.
This man's incapable of learning. All he does is when he sees a gift horse, he looks it in the mouth and says the opposite and collects his super chats and goes home. Learning? What are you going to learn, mate? More post-World War II consensus liberal crap.
For realism and for finally understanding how the left works and how good...
We know how the left works. You know how the left works because you act like the left. That's what you are. You're a lefty. You play by their rules. You were pushing reform in this election. You used your massive platform to push reform. Reform are not wanted. Then, as a result, they lost to Labour. Labour were probably going to win anyway. But you could have, even though Labour were going to win, pushed Restore so their vote share was higher, so it was at least perceived to the public that they are as strong as they could be. But people like you are too busy ruining it because you're centre. You want more of the same. You want more uniparty. This is ass backwards, mate.
They are doing what they do. Now, Andy Burnham was quite deliberately parachuted into Makerfield for one reason.
Now, full disclosure, I have watched this video before. I watched it about 5-10 minutes ago. This man's political take on everything is to see how things go, just go with whichever way the wind's blowing, collect your super chats, and then state the obvious. Those are his big brain political takes. This man is completely incapable of thinking outside the box or about anything other than what he sees on a screen. And then reports on it like it's political news or that he's got some big brain take. He's about to just explain what happened as though we didn't know that's what was going to happen.
And for one reason only. We all know what that was. Not so he might have the chance to serve the good people of the region. In truth, it's probably the last time they'll ever bloody see him. Andy Burnham was parachuted in by Labour MPs, plotting away in the background to save their own skins,
Yeah, we know, mate. You don't know anything we don't know. This is all irrelevant.
Their own jobs, their own salaries and their party by replacing the universally detested Keir Starmer with a man that now stands a very good chance of winning the next general election.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. The right, I've noticed, are putting too much stock in the supposed fact that Andy Burnham is slightly more likeable than Starmer the robot. This is weird. Nothing has changed. Nothing is going to change. But I tell you what, their win is not guaranteed in 2029. Absolutely not. I don't care who's at the helm. I don't care who's leading the Labour Party. One semi-likeable man, which I don't actually buy, is still leading a bunch of sheep that hate the British people. This tit is acting like it's all over.
And they've succeeded in doing just that, whilst we, together, failed miserably.
No, not we together failed miserably. You are the problem, Paul Thorpe, because you keep pushing to the left. Reform this, reform that. We've got to vote reform in to keep Labour out or keep the Tories out. Vote the Uni Party in to keep the Uni Party out. You've got it ass backwards, mate. Your problem is you side with the winning team every single time while still pretending you want to see change. All right, let's be completely honest. Restore weren't going to win this. This was an exercise in putting Restore on the map. You should have been there behind them, pushing them, if you want real change. They're a 4-month-old party, and you, because they're not big enough for you yet, and you're still stinging because Rupert Lowe wouldn't come on your podcast, you just pushed against them. You pushed against the change that we could have. It's people like you that are part of the problem. I told you this was going to be a rant. Apologies. I'm going to go all over the shop. But he boils my piss, this bloke.
Now, of course, Burnham will now use his warm smile, his boyish looks, the mainstream media, and his King of the North charm to rally and galvanise the left, the unions, and the entire Labour Party. He'll consolidate the migrant vote. He'll promise the earth and...
They'll consolidate the migrant vote, like Reform are doing, with their Muslims for Reform bus or minibus or van or whatever it was going around, with Richard Tice stood in front or stood in the area proudly taking photos of himself. Did you see their candidates for the last elections that we had? A third, half minorities. They are trying to consolidate. Oh, and Farage has already said he doesn't want to alienate the Muslim vote. This man is just blind, either willfully or unwillfully. I don't know what he is.
Sound very good doing it. It's the old Labour playbook. How do you...
Yeah, the old Labour playbook now being used by Reform, the party you push, and then still claim you want change.
Think these people got it in the first place by promising the earth and delivering nothing but pain. The left know
pain that you are actively helping push on the British people. By pushing people that would otherwise be on the true right towards the left and Reform.
full well that for them to succeed at the next general election, Andy Burnham simply had to win Makerfield, and they did it together, with the Green Party even losing their deposit at the end. They all stuck together. Now, for months, I've been warning of the need for us to unite, calling for grown-up politics, realism, and...
There it is. His vague platitudes. We need to unite the right. We need to come together. You don't say anything. You have no solutions whatsoever. You people super chat you because they buy these stupid platitudes that you vomit out of your mouth. You collect your super chats, they buy into it, and you go home. It's pathetic. We need to unite. Well done, mate. Paul Thorpe for PM.
Stop with the fantasy politics.
Fantasy politics are what we've been doing my entire adult life. The last 30 years, the last 19, 20 years of my adult voting life. It's all been a fantasy of a multicultural utopia that does not work. And you are now pushing for a party that would welcome more of that. And it's stated as much. The proof is there. It's on camera. We can't alienate the Muslim vote.
Treated this like a game, and we got found out and we lost bad.
No, we didn't treat this like a game. Restore were not treating this like a game. In fact, they were the only party taking this remotely seriously, but you turned your back on them. You and your platform with your thousands, if not millions of follows, turned your back on the only serious player in town. And as a result, you would have either ended up with, if they won, Reform, more of the same, more of the uni party. But as it happens, we got Labour. I'm not upset that we got Labour. Labour man wins in Labour area. What's new? You treat this like a game. The game is go whichever way the wind's blowing, collect super chats and stay in Spain nice and safe. Probably in an English hold, an English stronghold. I suspect you don't speak a lick of Spanish, you don't care about the culture, and you keep yourself separated from them. I guarantee you that you and your neighbours are all English and you sit round drinking your pints, speaking in English about England, moaning from afar, thinking you're doing something. You are the very problem in Spain that we complain about over here. You're disgusting.
And for me, Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe are both as bad as each other. Whilst they're...
And that is where you drop the ball, you tit. Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe are nothing of the sort. Nothing remotely similar. You have a career politician that's never achieved anything, and don't give me that bollocks about he achieved Brexit. He won a battle and then ran away from the war. He didn't stick around. It's done now. I'm off to make millions. Okay, cool. You wouldn't have a Rupert Lowe if he wasn't treated so poorly by Reform. If he hadn't been kicked out for uttering the correct words, which in and of itself is proof that Reform don't want the right thing to happen in this country, the very thing that needs to happen to get us started on the road to recovery, they're not the same. And then Mohammed Zia Yusuf of Reform tried to have him put in prison. He claimed a little old man threatened him. Fucking snake in the grass.
The country burns and our culture is being eroded by the day.
A culture that's being eroded by you as well. You are the problem. We can win this if people like you got off your backside and actually push people in the right direction. But you're too busy sitting on your ass, sore like you've been stung by a wasp because Rupert Lowe wouldn't come on your podcast. He says a while ago, he doesn't do the Working Man's podcast. Well, he does. He's been on Lotus Eaters. He's been on Peter McCormack. He just doesn't want to speak to you. You tried to hang off his coattails. He didn't acknowledge you because you're a twat, and you turned against him. You turned against the country. You've turned your back on us. You're part of the problem, you dippy fuck.
These two are more worried about a personal vendetta.
Ready, watch this.
If Farage hadn't politically tried to assassinate me, I probably would still be within Reform.
No, frankly.
Yeah, so you say these guys are playing games and they're too busy squabbling, and then play a clip that absolutely unequivocally explains why Rupert Lowe is no longer in Reform and has started Restore, a proper party for the British people. That's great. You've just contradicted yourself in the clip that you just used, thinking that you were providing proof of something.
Whilst being dragged into it, none of us really care about. And I said, look,
we do care. We absolutely care. That's the problem. I care. The problem is I care. You do not. You care about your super chats.
some time ago, this country needs a real hero, someone that's capable of uniting us and not dividing us.
And we found that person, at least for now, and that is Rupert Lowe. You choose actively to stare a gift horse in the mouth. That's you. I don't know who you're waiting for, mate. He's already here. But you turned your back on him.
All Makerfield has proven is that we still haven't found the right person.
Makerfield has proven that in a Labour area, Labour can win. You are, and you've got no excuses here, mate. A 4-month-old party didn't win in a Labour stronghold, in a Labour area. Mind-blowing. But you could have been there to help put Restore on the map. Instead, you chose to push the other way. You do not care about the British people. You are disgusting.
And there's no real point in blaming those that chose to vote Restore and Makerfield. As it turns out,
Well, it's funny you bring that up because that's exactly what you just did. That was a passive-aggressive way of blaming people in Restore. Now, I understand the next bit you're going to say is because Reform weren't going to win anyway. Oh, so now it's okay. Now we won't have a go at them because it turns out that Reform weren't going to get the votes anyway. But you were attacking them like the spiteful dickhead you are when you thought that they might cause a problem. You know, the people that actually want to save this country, you attacked them and pushed people to vote for more of the Uniparty in Reform.
Reform wouldn't have won anyway. But our task is now more difficult than ever. Make no mistake and be up.
You are making our task more difficult. You are in the way. You will have to be stepped over or pushed aside. Or actually join the right side.
Under no illusion, Andy Burnham is a very, very dangerous operator. And the proof of that will be evident soon enough. Wait and see. Under his guidance.
Right, cool story, bro. Thanks for that little insight there. Labour man hates the British. Brilliant take.
Labour will rise in the polls, and all of a sudden those who moved out of the Labour relationship will be moving back in. The unions, well, they'll become unified, and the Greens will bleed support as the hard left sniff victory and move back to Labour. Now, I've got to be honest, for me, it's now getting to the stage where I'm starting to think that this task might just be insurmountable.
But you won't walk away, will you, mate? There's too many super chats in it. Richard Inman threatened to walk away when Restore basically crushed Advance by simply stating that they were a thing. Don't threaten me with a good time, mate. You won't walk away. Like I said, too many super chats in it, but don't threaten me with a good time. You could do with going away, because you're not going to join the right side. You could just go away, but you won't. Too much cash.
The stubbornness and the outright refusal of the right to unite is looking like...
The right are united. We are just a minority at the moment, and you are not helping. Reform aren't the right. You're not the right. Tommy Robinson's not the right. You are all grifters using the right to grift. You don't tell us on the true right who the right is. That was a mouthful.
like a gap that we simply aren't able to close. And if that's true, we're done, and we're done for good. But
we're done with the help from the likes of you, mate. You need to choose the correct side or go away. All you're doing here is stirring the pot. You did the same thing when Ben Habib threw his toys out the pram. See, I noticed you conveniently left the party though, didn't you? You were weighing your options up. Advance starts to get crushed by Restore's mere presence. You immediately leave the Electoral College, and then what? Then you were hoping that Rupert Lowe would notice you, but because he didn't, you then turned on them as well. And you can't go running back to Ben Habib and Advance because they're no more. You're politically homeless. Just go where you belong, mate. Start voting Tory.
there is one last hope on the horizon, one last chance, one slight glimmer of hope at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, let's hear what that is or who that is then. Come on, mate. Please don't say Tommy Robinson. My head's bleeding because I hit it against the wall. I know. I'll keep smashing my head against the wall. That'll stem the flow.
There's still time. There's still time for us to find a real hero. There's still time to convince our leaders that united we stand, divided we fall. Make it feel...
Why do I get the feeling that no matter who stands up, you'll go against them? Unless you're immediately brought into the fold and idolised by them. Because once again, it's all about exposure and money for you. And all this, we need to unite crap, mate. Yeah, cool. You somehow made a political career on saying those words because Doris from Slough slings you a tenner now and again.
Provided the definitive proof of that. Only one party on the right can lead us to victory.
Yeah, and we know which party that is, mate, and it's the party that you actively rally against. You actively push back against a 4-month-old party that's going in the right direction, that's gained massive amounts of support in the last few months, that's done the right thing. The inquiry, they're writing policy as we speak. They're out there. A young team of smart lads putting their opinions and their views forward, speaking for themselves and the party. You don't want that though. You can't have political drama dry up. You couldn't have this country fixed tomorrow. It's not in your interest because the cash would dry up. That's you. That's all you are. A whore for money.
Save our nation. In this case, one is company, two is a crowd. All the big boys have to do now is work.
See, he's still coming from that assumption that restore and reform are similar. See how he says that? One is company and two is a crowd. They're completely different. All this splitting the vote crap. Well, maybe reform should have stepped down then. Because you see, right now, people won't vote restore because they are smaller, whereas they probably would if reform weren't an option.
Work out between them which one it is so that we can all get behind them. The wider question now is for Rupert Lowe and his supporters. We're going to wake up the nation, they said. Aim high, vote low, millions must go. It's all I've seen and heard now for weeks.
For 4 whole months, that's all it's been. 4 whole months. And look at the grip that they've taken on the political landscape. What do you want, you tit? What do you expect to happen? Restore coming in, sweeping everything, and taking whatever percentage of the public's support that it would need to just overnight change regime is nothing shy of magic. You're talking as though they're a failed party because they didn't win one Labour area. That's how you're talking right now. Again, Labour man wins Labour area. You go from not being a party to being a party in 4 months, and you're on between 5 and 8% of the vote in Makerfield. You swept Great Yarmouth. It's not good enough for you though, is it? And you don't want that anyway. You don't want the right to win.
But come on, guys, be realistic.
I'm being realistic. A 4-month young party is not going to sweep the nation just yet, but we have 3 years. So get on board or get out the way.
Overtly hardline message, whilst appealing to many, including myself, is not one that will win enough friends and even fewer elections. The truth is, the Restore vote at Makerfield only confirmed they don't stand a chance in hell of ever winning anything outside.
No, it didn't. It didn't. You're illiterate. You're politically illiterate. It did not. A 4-month-old party, I will keep repeating myself, did not win in a Labour area. Congratulations, you've stated the obvious. They are not a year old, and look at what they've managed. And you think that this is somehow proof that they can't win anything. The left are going to hand this to us. There's going to be more atrocities that happen on our streets, on these islands. And Restore are going to respond appropriately, and they will swell in support. We have 3 years. And you think it's done because Labour man wins Labour area. You're so thick. This is why I turned the camera on. I apologise for the setup, the lighting, my accent to a degree. The fact that I've had to play this on my TV and respond to my phone because I don't know how to do it. I apologise. This is not something I thought I'd be interested in doing. I love ranting and raving about politics, but I had to get it out there. Does nobody else agree with me that a 4-month-old party has done incredibly well, and then so-called rightists like this come along and shit all over it, while still claiming they want the country to be saved? This man is illiterate.
Of Great Yarmouth. And I've already started to see there's been early this morning. Oh, what a great result. We're finally on the map. It's better than we've...
Right. There you go. That is a great result. If that's not good enough for you, mate, I don't know or care what you want. Do not know or care what you want. Reformer, how many years old? You know, and they've had the juggernaut that is Farage, and he can't win anything, apparently. And now you're taking the piss out of Restore voters like myself, who are saying, yeah, we're on the map now. This was an exercise on making ourselves felt in the room. If you were being reasonably honest with yourself, we knew they weren't going to win there. This is about not one step back. This was a step forward. Now we hold our ground and keep moving. You have to try. You are sat there basically saying, give up and hand it all back to the left or the centre.
Hope for it's a good start.
Yes, it's a good start, you illiterate tit. It is a start. 4 months is the beginning.
No, stop.
Yes, you tit. You have no other option and you have no answers. I've noticed you've never got any solutions. All you do is moan about people trying. Sorry, I'll let it run for a few more seconds now, but everything that comes out of this man's mouth is just vomit.
Enough.
You stop it, you twat. Get off YouTube. Stop collecting your shekels. Go away. You're in the way.
You've been telling us for weeks now that you were going to win.
Oh, weeks. Oh, no. Political party and its supporters have been positive for weeks now. Heaven forbid.
Whilst in reality, you just about got your deposit back. And I take absolutely no pleasure in that. Like I
You do. You take pleasure and cash in that.
said, there's only one positive that we can take from Burnham's victory. The absolute necessity
The presence of restore.
for us to unite. Do that and maybe we can still win.
Oh, there's his great solution again, everybody. We must unite. 0 solutions. 0, this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to sit here and complain from another country that I ran away to a British enclave as an immigrant myself, and complain and then suggest that the solution is that we just unite, guys. Just unite. We've just got to unite.
Or we can continue to fight each other, play silly games, live in a world of...
Walk away then. Walk away. I will keep fighting you and exposing you. This might be a permanent thing. State of it. Sorry about this. Absolute state of it. 27 minutes of me rambling on. About half the people watching this don't understand what I'm saying. These are more thoughts verbalised. But this bloke is just the problem.
Fantasy politics and lose our country altogether.
Fantasy politics. We've been playing fantasy politics for the last 30, 40 years, mate. Post-World War II fantasy politics. Multicultural utopia. Yeah, that worked, didn't it? How did that work out for you? You're in another country now, run away because you're scared, because you feel unsafe. Why do you think I'm wearing this shit on my face?
Yes, in the end, the vote splitting didn't matter. But if it wasn't...
The vote splitting didn't matter anyway. Restore need to make a statement. Reform, irrelevant.
Plain for all to see now, today, then it bloody well should be. And if it isn't, then we are beyond any help.
There it is, guys. We're beyond any help unless you listen to Paul Thorpe just say, we must unite. The man's an idiot. I might be back, I might not even post this. I don't know, I just needed to get it off my chest. I'm sick of it. He's not on the right. He's in the centre. He's trapped in this post-World War II liberal system. He's playing by their rules. That's the problem. He's still playing by their rules. He's got no idea what he's talking about. He doesn't actually say anything outside of we've got to unite. And then, like I said, collects his 5-10 quid off Sandra from Slough. Goes off and spends it on beer. He's collecting beer money from you guys, that's all. He's already got millions, I'd imagine, from the watch industry. This man's absolutely fine. He's not afraid of anything, and he certainly doesn't care about the British people. Please wake up and understand that over the last 30, 40 years, this change has been so extreme and so radical from the left, pushed on the British people, that we need radical change to swing back in the opposite direction. Not more of this. Not more platitudes about uniting and standing down and not splitting the vote and all this crap. Not one step back.